Good morning. My name is Steve Weber, and I am the host of the American Gumption Morning Show, and we are being broadcast on Spirituality Gone Wild and also on the American Gumption Facebook page and also the American Gumption YouTube channel. So please subscribe to one of those or all of the above so you never miss an episode. So we broadcast on Monday through Friday, typically, or from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 7 to 8 a.m. in Pacific time frame. And I want to just say thank you to Spirituality Gone Wild for making this all possible. Alrighty, so today is Wednesday, September 23rd. We have a very good show planned, slightly different format than normal. I'll explain that in just a minute. So we threw a little bit of curveball in. Our guests are coming from the West Coast, but they weren't able to actually make it live. So we recorded that interview portion yesterday, and during the normal interview process, I will be sharing that pre-recorded interview with them. So our guests are Michaela Lev, the founder and producer of the G-Fest, the G-Fest Goddess Festival, which is going to be on October 16th to the 18th. Here, let me share my screen here real quick, and I'll just tease the idea that there it is. So it's the G-Fest Goddess Rising Online Summit, and all online this year. This has been an event that a few years ago was birthed and a live event, 3-day festival, but now it's being done on the internet. So anyway, Michaela and Sydney Lee will be here in just a little bit, and they will explain all about that. Alrighty. And then we have a monologue coming up, and we have a movie life lesson, and coincidentally, they both have the same name, and that's dream about who you're going to be. So the movie life lesson number 35 will be coming up just shortly, and Jenny dreams about who she's going to be, and that's what my monologue will be on too. But before I get to that, let me just announce the next couple of shows that are coming up. So tomorrow on Thursday, Scott Stanfield, who is the founder and podcast host of Modern Longevitarian, like a vegetarian, but long in front of it, and that stands for long life. So long life commitment, just like some people would commit to, being only eating vegetables, a vegetarian. Well, this is a longevitarian. So Scott's going to explain all that. He's got 8 principles, and that's an exciting show. And then on Friday, I have my first cousin once removed, Andrew Hessbacher, who's going to be joining us, and he is in the midst of riding his bicycle from coast to coast. He's a modern day Forrest Gump. He is, except he's not running, he's riding. And I guess he just woke up one day and said, one day I just felt like going for a little ride. And so he left the Jersey Shore, I believe. And but I do know he started on the coast, and he's now in Kansas City. And so he's about, not quite halfway across the country, but he's going to check in on Friday and tell us why he is doing this and share some of the things that have happened. And then hopefully we'll be able to catch up with Andrew at least, one more time towards the end of it. But this Friday will be kind of the, he'll tell his story. So that's coming up. And then next week, I have 3 interviews. I won't mention who they are today, but I will get into that tomorrow. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we already have interviews planned. So, hey, that's pretty good. This is the first week I had 5 interviews Monday through Friday, and now I got 3 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So we are making this thing happen. It's my goal is to have a guest every day. That makes it a lot more fun and easier for me. But of course, there's making sure that we get everybody on the same page, and so the pre-interview portion has to take place and make sure that people know how to connect and line up, and then we have a plan for what we're going to talk about during our time. So anyway, all that is coming together. The pipeline is starting to get filled. It's getting easier to maintain this momentum. So thanks for sticking around and enjoying it. If you have a certain host that you like, please leave a comment. And let us know what you think we're doing here on the American Gumption Morning Show. All righty. So now let's go ahead and jump into our movie life lesson. And again, this is called Dream About Who You're Going to Be. You'll always be you, but your dreams can make you a different kind of you. Hi, I'm Steve Weber, and I never dreamed of being Forrest Gump. It just sort of happened. Today is scene 35 of the 94 best scenes and life lessons from the movie to celebrate its 25th anniversary, which we're celebrating this year. When Jenny snuck Forrest into our college dorm room, she shared her vision of who she wanted to be, a folk singer like Joan Baez.
You have a dream, Forrest? Who are you going to be?
Who I'm going to be?
Yeah.
Aren't I going to be me?
You'll always be you, just another kind of you.
She asked Forrest if he ever dreamed about who he was going to be.
I want to be a singer like Joan Baez. I just want to be on an empty stage with my guitar, my voice. Just me.
We have the ability to reinvent ourselves with our dreams. We'll always have our past as memories, but we have the ability to become a new version of ourselves. We have the ability to dream about who we're going to be. When Jenny asked Forrest if he ever dreamed about who he was going to be, he naively asked, "Aren't I going to be me?" She said, "You'll always be you, just a different kind of you." It takes gumption to dream about being a new kind of you. It takes gumption to follow your dreams. Do you want to be more Gump-like? Dream. Dream about who you want to be and then follow your dream. Let's learn to live our lives with gumption. All righty. So Jenny asked Forrest if he ever dreamed about who he was going to be. And he said, "Aren't I going to be me? You'll always be you. You'll just be another kind of you." And that's really what dreams are all about is, who do we want to be? Who do we want to become in our future? And one of the Gumption sub-brands that I have is Quantum Gumption. Let's see if I can throw this up here. And really, Einstein famously made the phrase E equals mc squared, energy equals matter times the speed of light squared. And as I've been learning and educating myself about quantum physics, it seems like at the speed of light, something happens, and that's when we enter into the quantum area, and that's where our dreams can happen. So we have the ability to shape our future by dreaming, obviously, about what we want to be. And the mind, so mind over matter, seems to happen at that. I am not ready today to explain that fully, but that is an interest of mine. And I believe that as time goes on, as I have more and more guests, I will explore this topic of the quantum and how our thoughts really do affect what we get in our lives, the law of attraction, and just the fact that this whole Einstein said becomes spooky. The law of reality, matter, things, Newtonian physics, they all seem to change once you get to that speed of light thing. So anyway, again, I'm not qualified to fully explain that. It's something I've been studying and learning about and want to explore more, and will explore more as time goes on. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to mention today. And I did this because our guest coming up, they had a dream and they are making their dream come true. And so we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. That's really all I have as far as the idea that our dreams. Jenny asked Forrest, "Do you ever dream about who you're going to be?" And Forrest said, "Aren't I going to be me?" you'll always be you, just another kind of you. And so the question I want to ask people and challenge people to think about is, who do you want to be? What is the new kind of you? And as we think about different things, our brain cells or the neural pathways in our brain starts to wire new connections. And so if we always do what we always have done, then nothing changes. But if we begin to do new things and explore and stretch ourselves, then we can change our future. And it starts with a dream. So that's really it. It's short and sweet today. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let me get myself just organized here. I'll share my screen one more time. Let's see, how do I do this? Here we go, and there we are. So the G-Fest Goddess Rising Online Summit. And again, our guests they came and we met yesterday afternoon, and we had a nice conversation. And so it's a pre-recorded interview, a little bit different format than normal, but we're going to give this a try and see if I can't make it work. Running the board by myself today. So hopefully everything is going along and going to work fine. Alrighty, so as always is the tradition at the American Gumption Morning Show, is I read a short bio of who our guest is going to be, and then I will play the first time welcoming song for that person. And I did not record that part of it yesterday, so we're going to go ahead and just do this part live, and then we'll get into the first time welcoming theme and also the interview portion itself. So our guest today is the founder and the producer of the G-Fest Goddess Rising Online Summit. Michaela Lev is a documentary filmmaker, earth activist, superfood fairy, and an event producer. She is passionate about evolutionary She is passionate about evolutionary new paradigm ways of living, from community building to spirituality, health and nutrition, and the healing arts. Michaela has a deep love for nature, water protection, and women's empowerment. She has traveled extensively and feels blessed to live in the presence of the sacred land of Mount Shasta, California. Michaela's vision for G-Fest actually was birthed in 2017 when a talented female musician friend was feeling discouraged about her music career due to the limited number of places to play conscious music. Let me say that again. Due to the limited number of places to play conscious music and the small turnouts at those venues, hearing several other women musicians express similar sentiments and drawing on her own love of creating conscious gatherings, Michaela put on her producer's hat and with a small team began creating a supportive and celebratory event for talented women performers to share their gifts. With her studies in yoga, breathwork, and theta healing, as well as a passion for ecstatic dance and the priestess arts, her vision for G-Fest Goddess Rising expanded to create a larger container for women's healing, expression, personal growth, leadership, and empowerment, set within an atmosphere of celebration, ceremony, and connection. So the event started out as a 3-day event, women only, but the last day, men were invited in and the public was opened up, and so it became that venue. So this year, of course, everything has moved online. There will be no gathering together in the Mount Shasta area, but that's not stopping Michaela and her team of people from creating this online event. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play the welcoming theme for all of our first time guests, that we all get welcomed this way. here we are. We're doing a pre-recorded interview. I have Michaela Lev, who is the founder of the G-Fest Goddess Rising Summit, coming up here in just a few weeks. And we've invited her to be on the show, and she has brought with her Sydney Lee. So let's welcome both Michaela and Sydney to the American Gumption Morning Show. Hello, ladies. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having us here.
Well, good. So I'm broadcasting from the East Coast in the Philadelphia area. Where are you ladies at today?
We are in Mount Shasta, California.
That is a beautiful spot of Mother Earth, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful, and I'm actually originally from Philadelphia, PA.
Really, I was born in my first 22 years were in Bucks County. So whereabouts were you in Philadelphia?
Oh, outside of Philadelphia, I grew up in an area called Rydal near Tinkertown.
You were Montgomery County, and I was in Bucks County. So we were neighbors, but we didn't even know it.
Yep, so great to be meeting you here.
Yeah, good. Well, we had actually met when I first started the American Gumption Morning Show. My very first week, though, at the end of that week was the third anniversary of Spirituality Gone Wild, and we both participated on that show. So that's where I actually met you the first time, and I remember you talked about this, and I was hoping I would be able to have you come and appear on the morning show and tell us what the G-Fest, here, let's throw up one of the banners here at the bottom so people can see it. The G-Fest Goddess Rising Online Summit coming up October 16th to 18th. Tell us, give us like a thumbnail of what it is, and then we'll get into the details.
Okay, well, the G-Fest Goddess Rising is ultimately dedicated to the empowerment and upliftment of women around the globe. So I would say that's at the root of the entire event. And we just have an exciting lineup this year. Our upcoming summit, we have a plethora of amazing women presenters and musicians.
How did this start? My understanding is this is not the first year for the event. Tell us a little bit about the history and how it started and why it started.
Well, the G-Fest actually had very humble beginnings. It actually started here outside the beautiful home I live in Mount Shasta. And it was a response to the feeling that a lot
All right, so that was the interview that I conducted yesterday with Michaela, and what a great event that they have planned. Let me go ahead and just throw one last time the banner up about the so it's gfest.life. That's a kind of a unique name for it. So it's not a .com, but it's a .life. So gfest.life. And that's where you'll go to learn all about that, and you can get tickets. So thank you very much, Michaela and Sydney, for joining us this morning on the American Gumption Morning Show. All righty. So that is I think going to wrap up that portion of the show. I did have a couple of thoughts based on the show that I did on Monday, where I had Tracy Klinkroff, who's going to be traveling around in her RV and interviewing women-owned businesses. And then there's an event that Debbie G participates in on every Saturday morning, and that's called the Women Rising Show, and that is broadcast on Unify. And so, and then of course, the G Fest, which is for women wanting to create a conscious business. I love this conscious business, and I could feel a little bit left out as a man, saying, wait a minute, what about us men who want to do things and raise conscious businesses? And of course, we have the opportunity to do the same thing. And so I'm seeing, with my connection with spirituality gone wild, I know that, there's certainly women are banding together more so than the men on the online community to create these conscious businesses and to push their interest forward. And I think that's wonderful, and I support that. But I also think that us men need to have we need to be doing the same thing. And obviously, historically, be very careful how I say this. It's been a patriarchal society that has evolved, and women are not just sitting back any longer and saying that that's an acceptable way. Things have been evolving and changing for many, many, many years. And so it's not like, it was 150 years ago. Things have evolved a great deal, but I think that they're evolving even faster now with the online and the opportunities that the internet has made to combine people from all over the world. The event that Sydney and Michaela had in June had 4,000 online people participating, 4,000 online women participating. And that was like the teaser. I mean, this would be wonderful. I mean, could you imagine an event, 4,000 people online, gathering? So I think that, everything is changing. The world is evolving. It's going very fast. Men need to be involved in creating their own consciousness businesses. And there are those people who have done that. And I think that's what spirituality gone wild is all about in general. And certainly the American Gumption Show is all about, is promoting people who want to create a conscious business and, go out and change the world. So we have, if you go back 30 years ago, you had 3 broadcast stations, and then the cable network channels expanded exponentially the number of things that we could watch and view. But that was still kind of that old technology that was just thrown into like an expanded version of the old. But initially it was like wonderful. You had you could watch news all day long if you wanted to. And see all these other channels that came up. Well, now the internet is making possible for shows like this to come about, and we are producing our own shows. And so this idea of consciousness and intentional living is really growing, and women are leading the way in it. That's really, I guess, the message I wanted to say. I'm seeing women say, hey, we can create our own businesses here. And And that's great. And I support that. And as a man involved in that same type of an idea, it's like, hey, where are the men doing this whole thing? Now, yesterday, I had a conversation with Debbie G, our Spirituality Gone Wild founder. And Debbie threw a challenge at me. And she said, why don't you start a men's group? And so she threw out some other names of people, some of our other fellow hosts, and she said, and I said, well, what do they think? And she said, well, I haven't told them about it. She goes, I'm giving it to you. She said, Forrest, run with it. And so anyway, I don't know whether I'll do that. I said to Debbie, I said, hey, I'll think about it and we'll just see how this evolves. I need to think about ideas. Well, here it is less than 24 hours later, and I'm sharing the idea publicly. So ideas are being birthed and born right as we speak. And going back to today's movie life lesson, when Jenny said, do you ever dream about who you're going to be? And Forrest naively saying, who I'm going to be? Aren't I going to be me? Well, yeah, you'll always be you, just another kind of you. We have that power to become a new kind of us or me or you. You have the power to become a new kind of you just by dreaming about who you want to be. And then, of course, taking action and doing concrete steps to make it all happen. And if we go back to Michaela and Sydney, they had a dream in 2017, women who were playing certain types of spirituality music. What I forget the phrase that Sydney used. My apology for not remembering exactly, but this conscious music, spiritual music, small audiences. Not a lot of venues to share this type of thing. And Michaela, with her producer hat, said, let's go ahead and create an event. And then that event was born. And then it happened a couple of years live out in the Mount Shasta area. And now it's going virtual this year. And my goodness, I hope, and it would be so wonderful if they have 4,000 people participating on it. So you want to definitely, let me throw the banner up there one more time. You want to definitely, go and check it out. And if this is the type of thing for you, please do join in, because it's going to be a good event. The 16th to the 18th is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in October. I should have known that, but hey, Alrighty, so today was a different show. I'm pretty happy with the way the pre-recorded interview worked. It wasn't exactly my intention to do that, but then at the last minute, I spoke with Michaela, and it became obvious that the better thing to do was to go ahead and pre-record the interview and let them focus on getting their event scheduled. And so it worked out pretty good, I think. I haven't watched what it looks like in recorded and how it came out to you, but from this end, it felt pretty good. And it really opens up a possibility for me doing, interviewing guests that won't be able to necessarily make it onto the show during the 7 to 8 a.m. Pacific time or 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. And so we'll see how that goes. And so here we are, show number 36, and we're still breaking down new barriers and trying new things. And that's about what dreaming about who you're going to be is all about, is trying new things. You have a dream, you try something, and sometimes it works well and sometimes it doesn't work so well. And in this case, I think that, worked well enough that we're going to keep going with that whole idea. So we have a comment that I'm not going to share, but anyway, we'll see what happens. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning on the American Gumption Morning Show. It was a new experiment and new ground, and I felt like it worked out pretty good. So everybody have a great day. We appreciate your joining us this morning, and we will see you tomorrow. Oh, now let me just share the next couple of shows. So tomorrow, Scott Stanfield will be with us. He is the founder and podcast host of Modern Longevitarian. And a longevitarian is someone who wants to live a long life. And so he has 8 principles on what you can do to get yourself in a good, healthy place so that you're living a long life. And then on Friday, my first cousin once removed, Andrew Hessbacher, is riding his bicycle from coast to coast, and he is in the heartland of the country in the Kansas City area. He's going to check in, and he's going to tell us why he decided to ride his bicycle from the eastern shores of the U.S. to the Pacific, to San Diego. And so that'll be coming up then. And then next week we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We already have interviews scheduled for all 3 of those days. And so we'll tell you about more of who's coming up next week, tomorrow and on Friday. All right, everybody, have a great day. We appreciate your being here. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we will see you tomorrow.